And welcome, everybody, to the highly anticipated, maybe even most anticipated podcast of your entire life. This is Difficult. Welcome aboard, everyone. We talk about video games and video game related activities and such. I am your co host, Josh, aka Lord Yeshua. You are on Paul Ryugami-san's channel, and we have Zach, another letdown here, our newest host. And, yeah, I'm running out of words to say. Okay, it's a little difficult. Oh, go figure. Already. Today we're going to be talking about some game predictions. We did a little bit of this last week. We're going to be continuing with our 2021 predictions for all of the platforms and what have yous. We're going to talk about some of the games we played. I believe Paul has a fat, juicy review for us coming.
I do.
And I'm going to pass the mic over to Paul, and he is going to take over.
Yeah, what's up, guys? How was your week?
Oh God! It was a thing that did happen that I'm anxious to forget. Let's move on.
What thing happened? Now you gotta talk
Fortunately,
about it.
none of us were involved in that.
I actually, I can't because I don't want to betray confidentiality.
Oh God!
But, oh God! It was a thing.
Oh wait! You mean like at your job something happened?
Yeah, job thing.
Oh
God.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I talked to you before.
I thought you were talking about current events, and I was like,
no.
Like, Zach, that's not what this show's about, man.
Nope.
I'm pretty sure I fucked up your tag also. Not another letdown. God damn it. I was going too fast.
You did it.
No, you did it right. Another letdown.
That's
You nailed it.
Letdown?
Another letdown.
God, I'm so bad at this. Okay. This is why they pay me the big bucks, guys.
We're all paid approximately $0 for this, so it's okay.
It was just a crazy week at the school. A lot of just things going down, questions being answered and asked, and small children being small children. So it's fine.
You were in school this week? Oh,
we've been in person learning for 78 days now.
Jesus hell. That's
a lot
crazy.
of days.
I didn't even realize that.
Literally, we have not gone remote.
Woo!
Yeah, it's nightmare fuel.
It's madness. That is nightmare fuel.
And to our school's credit, we've only had 3 cases, knocking on wood.
Wow.
So yeah.
There you go.
And it's all been outside of school.
Did you guys play any video games this week?
I did. Did I?
What did you guys play?
I did. You guys go first.
As I've been playing, I played Hades and I played Batman Arkham Asylum, and it's been great. Love Batman, love Hades. Hades, I have some opinions about.
It's becoming repetitive.
No. It is becoming repetitive,
See,
but
I
not
just
in
guessed.
a bad way. Not in a bad way. I discovered something new today that put me on full tilt. I was very upset and had to close the game. But it was just a thing that I should have seen coming a mile away and completely missed. Are we outside of the statute of limitations on spoilers at this point, or should I keep it to myself?
I would say
honestly,
so. I haven't played the game, but
I haven't played the game. Is it basically like a story
the game's been out for a while.
It's not a story piece; it's a mechanical piece.
Just do it.
I'm not going to remember it. So
I'm not going to remember that.
Spoiler alert: the final boss has 2 health bars.
Oh, and you were like, I'm going to exert all of my effort.
I had him. I was yelling at the screen like, get
that's the worst.
No.
Like you save like your super or something like that, like for the last little chunk, and you're like, I got this shit.
I went hyper aggressive. I was like, I've got him down to like a quarter, and then I'm just going to go in and pound on him. And nope, should have held back.
Dude.
Oh my God, no.
But now I have a logical path to correct and move on and do it again, probably multiple times, and it'll be fine.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm super enjoying it. The story's great. The animations, the music is amazing.
I still need to get into this.
Electric bass riffs.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
dude, that company, so cool. What are they called? Like Supergiant or something like that?
Yep.
Supergiant.
Dude, they do such a good job with like sound design and music. Like freaking Bastion. I could never stop talking about
Bastion's
that game.
So great. Yeah.
Freaking incredible.
I discovered that I have that game this week.
Oh, nice.
So I will be playing that very soon too.
Play that game. It's so good. I can't wait to see how you feel about that game. Play it with like really good headphones on if you can. Like, there you go. Like, dude, so nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Very cool. I played the games that I've been streaming. I didn't have much time to play off stream this week. Otherwise, I would have gotten into Phoenix Rising or whatever the fuck. Immortal Phoenix Rising. They should have named that game something different. It was originally going to be called like fuck, what was the original name of it? It had
Isn't
a
every
better
Phoenix
name.
immortal? All Phoenixes are immortal. It's like it's an immortal Phoenix. They already come back to life. Like, come on.
It had a better name when they first announced it, but they
Super
changed the
Mega
name to
Blood Falcon.
Immortals Phoenix Rising. It's just like such a weird fucking name. But anyway,
Yeah.
I would have played that if I had time, but I didn't have much time this week, so I only played the games that I streamed. But those games are awesome. I played Onimusha 3.
Oh.
I'm getting close to the end of that, I believe, and I'm just enjoying every fucking second of it. I think
Nice.
like Colin would punch me for saying this, but I think I'm starting
Better
to like
than-
it more than Onimusha 2.
Oh, he's punching you through the screen right now. I can see it.
But I love that game. And then I also have been playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is really fun. It's got some problems though. Like it's got some big
Movement
problems.
issues, or-
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I've been hearing.
It's like the movement is just chunky and unresponsive, which sucks because the rest of the game is so polished. The rest of the game's gorgeous. The cutscenes are fucking amazing. Like the set pieces are awesome. It's just like a really well designed game, and then like they fucking skimped out on like the movement. Like that's just so weird to me.
Yeah,
it's super awkward. Like he runs like he's got a wedgie.
Yeah, he runs weird, but that's not even the I don't care about how he runs. The run animation's a little weird.
Drives me crazy.
Yeah, the run animation's a little weird, but like what's more annoying is the combat. Like the combat is just
clunky,
especially because it's kind of like it's people consider it a Souls-like to a degree, right? And you know, the thing about Souls games is like the combat is like super precise and responsive, and that just doesn't exist in this game. So it makes some battles that should be a cinch like really fucking difficult because like,
there was one boss that I watched you, or large creature that I watched you take on, and I was like, boy, this guy, first of all, shouldn't be this difficult, I don't think, just visually.
Yeah.
And I mean, you died to him almost instantly the first time and then crushed him the second time. Like that's a wild swing.
Yeah, and I didn't even like level up or anything in between.
Right. It was literally
like,
just one right after the other.
It literally boiled down to like the first time I got like juggled and I mistimed some things, and just like you can't recover if that happens,
right?
Because the controls are just really unresponsive. So like I just got decimated. But the second time I go in there and you know I planned it out a little better, and I took a little more time to make sure that I, you know, my animations, you can't cancel animations, and I think that's like part of what makes it feel really
frustrating.
Funky.
Yeah.
So I mean it's definitely playable and it's very fun, but that's like my one gripe about the game is just like the combat should be tighter. Like it absolutely should be tighter.
Should be like Hyrule Warrior status combat.
Which
it makes me wonder, like
Respawn is the company who made the game, and they're like the people who made like the they made the Titanfall games as well as Apex Legends, and like so you think in your mind like those games have fucking amazing controls. Like Titanfall has some of the best controls in a first-person shooter that I've ever fucking played. Titanfall 2 is just an amazing game.
So good.
But this is, I think, maybe the first time they've done like a third-person adventure game like this. So I don't know, like
that makes sense.
If
but
necessarily
it begs the question though, like how hard can it be to program controls like that?
I don't
know.
Maybe
Gears has done it for years. Gears 1 for Xbox 360
very tight.
Brilliantly tight controls.
Yeah, very tight.
Really? You think Gears? See, I thought
Gears was tight for a third person.
So I guess for a third person shooter, like going from like first person shooters to Gears of War, like I felt like the controls were so fucking clunky.
Because it's different. It's very, very different.
Yeah.
But even like mid-franchise, they changed it up. So Judgment, right? Gears Judgment was balls.
Yeah.
The controls were so clunky.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell happened? What did you do? Because why didn't you just take something that works and move it over?
Yeah.
And the same holds true for Jedi Fallen Order. Like there are definitely control schemes that work.
Yeah.
Why are you not just using that? Why are you
I
trying
hate
to
when
reinvent
they
the wheel?
change that in the middle of a franchise, and you're like, this isn't even the same game anymore. Like, just because, yeah, stick to what works. Exactly.
The only excuse I could give it would be that maybe they wanted to like, as far as like the battle animations are concerned, they wanted it to feel like or look really Jedi, like really cinematic, really Star Wars fucking Jedi swirly lightsabers, and so like being able to like cancel animations and shit doesn't really fit that aesthetic, and that's possibly what was going on there. I don't know, but it's irritating. But it's not bad enough to stop playing the game. The game is still awesome and worth playing. So
no, that's great.
Yeah, but that's what I've been playing. And I played a little bit of Nioh this week too. Actually, I played a little earlier today.
Just to get a refresher course.
Not well, yes and no. I mean, really more like I beat the main game, and we'll talk about that in a little bit because we're doing the review. But yeah, so I beat the main game, and actually, we can just jump into the review if you want.
Well, Josh hasn't said what he played this week.
Oh, that's true. We'll talk. Anyway, I beat the main game, and I'm just doing end game stuff right now. Essentially, is what's going on. Josh, tell us what you played, man.
Not much. Mostly Hyrule Warriors this week. Kind of been grinding along with that. I'm trying to 100% it, I think, and it's pretty amazing.
It's fun. Yeah, it's a really fun game.
It's really fun. I find myself defaulting to Link a lot, and it makes it feel like more of a Zelda game. My Link's at like level 45 now, and all my missions are at like level 30. So I'm like, I'm kind of just decimating the game right now, but I have yet to be like bored by any of the missions. It's really good. I don't know how far anyone is. I don't want to spoil anything, but I just unlocked a new character that's pretty awesome. Paul, you don't care?
I don't care. I had the game spoiled for me already.
Don't say.
But yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. But I enjoy it anyway. The game's super fun. I haven't had a chance to play very far into it. But you're not gonna ruin anything for me if you say.
All right. Well, I just unlocked the Great Fairies, and I thought that was pretty badass. That they're very just all inclusive on the characters. I'm gonna assume there's like a bad guy story arc like there was in the first one, and I'm clearly not that far in if I'm not even like unlocked all the good characters yet. I'm gonna guess that the King of Hyrule is a playable character at some point, and like I don't even know. I don't know how many good guys are left, but. It's really amazing. I love that. And then I played some Chrono Trigger, the OG SNES cart. I'm loving that. Thanks, Lady Yesh. And then what else? A little bit of Donkey Kong. I've kind of been all over the place with my gaming, but mostly some Hyrule Warriors. Yeah. I need to do something real for this review next week, but you know.
Hey, how far are you in Chrono Trigger?
I could already review that game, I think, now that I think about it, because I've beaten that game a few times, but
I don't think anyone's reviewed that on this podcast.
We never reviewed that.
I can do that. But I don't think so.
I could absolutely review that.
I think maybe we talked about it fairly extensively a long time ago, like before you were even on it. But I don't think anyone ever reviewed
grind that out a little. I'll grind that out a little this week, and yeah.
I mean, you don't have to do that. It was just a suggestion.
Also, Triumphant Return to streaming is coming, triumphant-ish, as I put it on the Discord, but I'm really trying to cut out some time to get back into streaming, and so far it hasn't really worked yet, but I'm going to be doing that. I did it.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting over here announcing on my streams that I'm going to be live more, possibly, because I keep getting trapped in my own head and getting sad, and because the world, and I was like, the only time that the easiest way for me to distract myself is to go live. So I'm just going to do that.
So nice. Yeah, I need to do that. It's definitely a good way to kind of release. But yeah, I wanted to do, so last year I did a Zelda-thon at this exact time of the year. And I think I'm going to do another Zelda-thon starting with Ocarina of Time and just like play through them all. That was like a huge fun thing. It took me like 2 months to do it all. And that'd be just a nice way to kind of get back.
I really want to like kind of like finish out my Zelda catalog as well. There's several games that I've started and never finished, and there's a couple so I started Majora's Mask just for the first time just a couple weeks ago. I literally just booted it up and just to see how it runs on my 64 with the HDMI thing.
Beautifully.
And it looked good. Actually, it was literally the first thing I tested with my new capture card. So
nice.
Yeah.
And beautiful, right?
It's fine. Yeah, it looks good.
It's good. It's good. He hates it. He knows it looks like crap compared to. No,
it's a little weird. So when like for me, Zelda games, like you really just want to play as Link how Link is for me.
Yes.
And so like they immediately turn you into that little like Deku
The Deku
dude with
scrub,
like
yeah.
the swirly things, and I was like, this isn't Zelda.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you get past that pretty quick, and
You do.
I get the mechanics of it. It seems
Yeah.
like it could be a lot of fun.
It's
I
definitely the
definitely
black
need to give it
sheep.
some more
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Definitely the black sheep of all Zelda games.
Mhm.
Just
Well.
mechanically, it is, well, yeah. It's,
There's
yeah.
one that we're not
There's
talking
one
about.
that's, yeah, poop colored sheep. No, I'm just kidding.
Brown sheep.
Even still, arguably, you get more control over like Link as he is. But like, yeah, I think once you dig deeper, you're gonna find that there's even more like to being Link. Like being Link is like a very important role because I don't know how to explain it without spoiling too much for you because you haven't beaten the game, but you're not just gonna be able to be the Deku Scrub. Like you're gonna.
No, I
find
know you get a whole lot of other masks and all that shit. So I'm sure it's awesome. I just need to give it more time. I will at some point. But yeah, I do want to like kind of just complete my catalog of Zelda games. Like finish. There's like I said, there's
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword, yeah. Like I have it and I haven't finished it. I've never finished that game. So
I cried at the end of that the first time I beat that. It's such an ending.
Yeah, it's a fucking sick game. I've actually seen most of it played and I love it, but I've never finished it myself. So
beautiful.
I started playing A Link to the Past on stream. I think it was at the top of last year, actually.
Yeah,
I'm looking now, but God, that game is so good. It is.
I think I rage quit the last time I played that. Actually,
well, so
I think it's a Turtle Rock and then rage quit.
Yeah, so I started playing it. I got pretty far, actually, significantly beyond Turtle Rock, and then I was like, oh yeah, you know what? It was actually 2 years ago. The NHL playoffs started, so I had to do my annual NHL 94 stream.
Oh, nice.
And then the Grand Tour game came out, and I got completely sidetracked and distracted. So I just
that's another
playing.
one I need to finish too. You know what's funny is I've never finished that one, but I have finished Link Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds is
past.
I've never finished it. Link
serious?
Between Worlds is so fucking good though, and it really made me want to go back and finish Link to the Past.
Like, I was about to say, and you can play them like in either order, I think, non-sequentially, and like you really get a grasp for both stories, just because it is the only Zelda game where the same world is represented in two games. I think the more
how badass would like a Ravio spin-off game be? I would that love so bad.
But I wonder if it would be like something totally different, like Tingle's Heart bullshit. Or
no, I want like a legit Zelda game, but you play as Ravio.
Did you hear about the Tingle game for the Game Boy Advance? Tingle's Happy.
Oh my god, I forgot. I blocked that out.
It definitely exists, and I don't even know. It's called like Tingle's Love Land or something really weird.
No, I would want it to be like basically like the flip side of the story of Link Between Worlds, right?
Yes.
So like you play
Tingle's
as Ravio.
Rosy Rupee Land.
Rosy Rupee Land. See the more I think about it, the more I want a Link to the Past remake. And I don't know if this is doable, but it'd
like
be
a
so
full remake.
Cool. Yes, it'd be so cool to do. Like literally connect it to A Link Between Worlds and make a massive game. Can you imagine that? Both remade for the Switch, like one long story. Like you beat A Link to the Past and then it continues in the future. Like,
so
they're not going to do that, but that would be fucking rad.
Do that, but we at least might get. We're like on the precipice of getting a Zelda announcement. I'm pretty sure now that it's 2021.
Oh yeah.
I think once Super Mario 3D World comes out, which is February, maybe early March, I think we're gonna.
I think March is when we're gonna see everything.
I think March is it. Yeah, February. I don't think anything's gonna happen. But
well, we may get announcements in February, and also actually there was a leaked. I think this is fake. Let me just throw this out there. It's almost certainly fake, but there was some pretty interesting stuff on it. There was a Nintendo memo that leaked earlier this week.
Oh God, tell us.
Yep.
Yeah, well, so allegedly there's we'll know if it's true tomorrow, because if there's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow, then we'll know it's true.
Wait, so the thing says there was going to be like a Zelda related Direct tomorrow?
Well, no, it's just a massive Nintendo Direct with a whole bunch of stuff.
It was humongous.
Yeah. It's in it should be in the Discord. But
I'm looking it up right now.
Like I said, I'm 99% sure it's fake. Just throw that out there.
It looks super fake because there's
some spelling errors and
there's a ton of spelling errors. There's the same description for Call of Duty.
Very weird.
the description for Final Fantasy.
Dang.
Very weird.
Like,
like
there's
Nintendo.
some very like reasonable predictions on here too.
Yeah, that's the
But
thing
it's
though. Is there
just
some reasonable
so-
predictions on it? And that's kind of
Hear
like,
them. Let's hear him. Let's hear him. Come on.
do you
We
have
wanna
it pulled up?
we don't want to end up getting a C and D for.
Oh, would we?
We might, yeah. Nintendo
Really?
would clap down on
That's
that.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Oh, that's
yeah.
true.
We don't want to overstep our boundaries here.
That's fair.
Because
Regardless, the
if
point
that
is
indeed an internal
Tomorrow's a
document.
Monday, so honestly, that's like kind of their thing is like early week.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's been since November since we've seen a direct, and they love to just drop shit. They literally could be like February 1st, Breath of the Wild 2. Fuck it. Just buy it. I don't even care.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them like announcing or giving us a trailer for Breath 2 in February, but
a gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. Anywho, you guys want to review?
Hop into the thing.
Yeah,
hit
do
it
a
up.
review.
Give another review? All right, let's do it. Here we go. So the game that I'm reviewing, hold on, let me get into my review thing.
Tingles Rosy Rupee.
Boom, here we go. Okay, so the game that I'm reviewing today. Oh shit, I fucked this up. You guys aren't on here. Well, I'm not gonna fix this now, so you guys can just be in the background talking. So here's the game that I reviewed is Nioh, and I've been playing this for a while now. The first time I ever played it is when it came out, but I never finished it. I actually only finished it fairly recently, just a couple weeks ago. And we had been playing on stream. And it's like it has become one of my all-time favorite games. When I first played it, I was like, okay, this is rad. But oh shit, we can't hear you guys. That's a problem too. Okay. Well, sorry guys. This is the Paul show until this review is over. Okay. I just realized they can't hear you guys. All right, that's fine. Anyway, I'll definitely have to go back and fix this. But let's see. Anyhow, let me get to the outline here. So the game is available for PlayStation 4 and PC. It's actually going to have a re-release, like a remaster, along with Nioh 2 on PC and PS5 in February. I think February 5th. So I'm very excited about that. I really wanted to make sure that I finish this game before Nioh 2 comes out, which I hear is even better than this game, which is mind-blowing because this game's fucking incredible. So that's really cool. That's where you can find it. It's developed by Team Ninja, which is the same people who have made the recent, and I say recent, but like within the last 10 years, Ninja Gaiden games. It released originally in February of 2017. You can get it for about $50, but a lot of times it's on sale for between $15 and $20 on Steam, so definitely worth checking out. And yes, I did die actually way more than 161 times, but I kept a death counter through my playthrough, which was pretty fun. But what did I like about the game? Let's get into that. It's a samurai game. So right there alone gets me freaking hyped. Yeah, so it's also a Dark Souls game, but not officially, right? It's just very Souls-like, which I enjoy those games. Actually, more and more now. I used to hate them. But as I've gotten a little more patient, I've come to really, really enjoy them. I think they're some of the most well-designed games ever. So this is definitely up there with those. In fact, to me, these games exceed Dark Souls. I think these games are better than the Dark Souls games. That might be controversial. A couple reasons I feel that way are, number one, the combat's better. It's just better designed. It's tighter, more responsive. Number two, you have way more build options, which is pretty freaking rad. And number three, instead of being like the open world style, kind of like the other Dark Souls games are, it is it's episodic, right? So like you have an overworld map and you get to select missions one by one. And there's a bunch of sub missions. There's like fucking several layers of new game plus. There's just a ton of content in this game. So there's a lot to be liked about this game, honestly. What do I not like about the game? To be honest, there's not very much. I mean, there's certainly times I get frustrated with it, but overall the game is really solid. The story's good. While kind of basic, it's still good. It's got a really cool spin on Japanese history. That's another cool thing about the game is like every character in the game is a real historical character. And it takes place during the end of the Warring States period in Japan, which is cool. Let's see here. So yeah, there's not really much I don't like about the game. How is the gameplay? Was it fun? So in typical Dark Souls style, it's difficult. It's very difficult, but it's very fair. I often compare it to Sekiro, which is not fair. It's very difficult, but not fair. It's just totally unforgiving, and you have to be a god to beat that game. Whereas this game, if you grind your ass off and you learn from your mistakes, you're gonna have a fine time getting through this game. You'll be able to do it, which is badass. So the gameplay is very good. The art is excellent. It's again kind of that grimdark style, but they do a really good job of representing like Japanese yokai, which are like the mythological demons in Japanese mythology. And they do it in a gorgeous way, so that's good. The music, to be honest, the music is probably one of the few things that I wouldn't say is weak about the game. It's just like when I'm playing the game, I don't notice the music as much because it's usually so intense. There is good music though, and it's kind of cool Japanese style music in certain areas. But I couldn't just name a song or hum a tune from the game because I'm so involved in what I'm doing that the music's just probably the last thing I'm thinking about. It does do well with like musical cues though. So like when you come into danger, it definitely switches the music style, and you've got boss music and stuff. So it's there for sure. Sound design is also pretty good. You can always like there's little kodama, little green creatures hidden throughout the entire level. And you can always tell when one's around because you can kind of hear them bouncing around. Also, if you pay attention, you can hear certain monsters. Like in the gameplay, you probably saw just a little bit ago, there was like a wall that was actually a monster. You can actually hear those if you're paying attention. So there's good sound cues in the game for sure. So I think they did a good job with that. How long did it take me? A long time. It took me a long time to beat this game. I couldn't tell you how many hours, and technically I'm still playing it because, like I said, there's a big end game. So once you beat the main story, there's also, I believe, 2 full story expansions, as well as, I believe, 5 layers of New Game Plus. Um, and so you can keep playing this game for a very long time. You can put hundreds of hours into this game if you want to. I would say that like a really skilled Souls-like player is going to spend probably about 40 to 50 hours beating the main story, maybe less. And this is for a first try. I'm not talking like speedrunners or anything. Um, but but an average schmo like myself is gonna take a little bit longer. And so yeah, it took me a while, but I enjoyed every freaking minute of it. Was the game difficult? Yes, very, but like I said, fair. Would I play a sequel? Yes, and I plan to. Like I said before, the sequel is coming out in February. I believe it's the 5th. I could be wrong about that again, but I'm pretty sure it's the 5th, and I'm very anxiously looking forward to that. And actually the sequel is already out for PS4. If you own a PS4, you can play the sequel now, which I do, but I'm waiting for the PC version. because that's where my friends are gonna play it. So that's what I'm waiting for. Let's see here. Overall rating and impression of the game. I'm gonna give this game a not a perfect 10, but because here's the thing, we give out such high numbers on this, right? We do play good games. Just a reminder, they can't hear you guys right now, but um, like I would like to give it a perfect 10, but I think that's just me looking at it through my weeb colored glasses. So, but I would definitely give it a solid 9.5 or higher. 9.5 plus. We'll put that at the end of that. Um is the game worth buying full price? I would say yes, but it's on sale very frequently, so do wait for a sale if you plan on playing it. Um, and yeah, you can watch my previous streams right now. We're using a stream of it if you want to check the game out. But let me switch back so we can get the other hosts in here. And yeah, so hang on one second. That is my review. And they're back. Sorry about that. I gotta fix that.
How does it stack up compared to Ghost?
How does it stack up compared to Ghost? Okay, so they're two very different games.
That different.
Very different games. Ghost is like a it's kind of, it's more like a Zelda game, honestly. Like,
that's what I was
to me, Ghost feels more like a Zelda game. And that game's incredible. That's my favorite game that I've played this year, That's so great, I would say Ghost probably, you know what? I think my original review of Ghost was a 9.5, and then with the additional content that they released, I amended that to a 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's up there with Ghost as far as rating is concerned, for sure. I enjoy the hell out of this game. Like I said before, it's become one of my favorite games of all time, maybe. So but yeah, I don't think you can really compare those two games, even though they're both samurai games. They just, one is more like Dark Souls, one is more like Legend of Zelda, is kind of how I would explain that. Honestly, like, I felt like, even though it's a totally different setting, it's obviously more realistic and set in the real world and all that shit, like I felt like I was playing a Zelda game most of the time that I was playing Ghost of Tsushima. So,
can you imagine a Zelda Souls game?
That'd be gas.
I mean,
that'd
in a
so
way,
cool.
the game that we do not name, I feel like is the closest we'll get to
bit,
that.
But
yeah,
I would say it has the most difficult aspects if you're talking like find the Lionels that one shot you and shit like that. But yeah.
Right.
So that's it, man. I love the game. So
excellent,
good stuff. You guys want to wrap this business up? Actually, we have tons of time. We can
bring it. Where's the topic?
So the topic is, well, we were gonna continue with our predictions.
Oh yes, let's do that
for 2021. Was the plan.
Yeah.
So the next thing that was on the list of predictions would be PC. So Steam, Origin, Ubisoft, the PC platform games, and what do you guys think the industry is going to be doing? What games do you think? Any big announcements?
Well, so anytime that there's a new console generation, PC gaming has to step up their game in some way.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're already way ahead technologically, but the availability changes.
Yes.
Everybody's so focused on Paul is so focused on getting himself a PS5 that a lot of good PC games could potentially be overlooked by those people looking to
continue their console.
So I think PC gaming is actually in a really advantageous position, though, coming off of an entire year of work from home.
Yeah.
The situation being, people working from home not only have time to work on their major assignments, but I'm predicting a large indie surge this year.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Where people are, working on whatever project they want. The Google 20% project that's given us things like Google Docs and Google Drive and Google Mail and all that stuff. Google employees are told to work 20% of their week on whatever project suits their individual wants and needs.
Mm-hmm.
Being that they're working from home, my guess is job satisfaction is actually higher in some cases.
Sure.
Leading people to work in excess of 20% on projects that are passion projects for themselves.
Sure.
So I really think we're going to see, I have no idea what that's going to look like. I have no idea what we're going to see, you know, in terms of original content or sequels or whatever it happens to be. But I really do think we're going to see a lot of indie games hitting the Steam store this year.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so something that I think Microsoft did that has been just a freaking game changer. I hate to use that when it refers to games because it just
Go to bed,
feels
Paul.
redundant. But
game changer.
Yeah, no. Game Pass, right? So last year they came out with Game Pass for the PC. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's the best subscription platform for gaming you could get on any platform. Do you think that any other developers are going to try and
oh yeah.
I very much so. I
like compete with Game Pass. How are you going to do that?
I think Nintendo is going to do some kind of thing, but I feel like Xbox is just going to maybe merge with other companies to do their own Game Pass on other platforms, which kind of seems like that way it saves everyone some time on creating their own thing.
I mean, I'm specifically talking about PC here, right? So like now, as far as like the PC platform's concerned, even Origin, right, which I would say was probably the biggest competitor to Game Pass, has now kind of merged and started putting a lot of their games on Game Pass. They kind of like threw in the towel, you know? Do you think that there's any other... Okay, so what about Steam? When's Steam going to do this? If any company could compete with Microsoft with a Game Pass, it would have to be Steam, right?
Didn't Steam have like a Steam box a while ago? They tried to like actually make a console and it flopped miserably.
Yeah, I mean it was just like a mini PC. Yeah.
Now would be the time to try again. If they're going to do it and bring Steam to elsewhere, this might be the year.
This could be the year. I feel like Steam has such a place where they're just like, we're kind of the top dogs. People will guaranteedly use our service, like guaranteed. If you have a PC, like you are using Steam.
Yeah.
I don't know. They are in a position to where they can overtake. And like you're saying, like if they do something big like this, like a Game Pass, it could be massive for them. But at the same time, they're sitting so pretty, they might not even be considering something like this. They're just like, we're getting used no matter what. We're not even worried about our position right now. Like we could just like let the money trickle in.
What about Epic? Does Epic have a subscription model? Because I would say
they leave you like bonus games and stuff, but it's not like a subscription. Honestly, I think Epic is shit. But
see that, I mean, you say that, but Epic has been making like huge plays over the last couple years with getting exclusives and putting out just a lot of content. So like as far as any other kind of like big player in the PC realm, like I would say those two, like Steam and Epic, would be the two companies that could possibly compete with Microsoft and their Game Pass.
They could possibly join together actually too, because that's something we haven't really seen. I'm like, oh cool, I gotta download this Epic game now instead of downloading it on Steam. It's like they could literally merge libraries and have some amazing partnership.
Do you think that would ever happen though? I mean, they seem like they're just...
what kind of antitrust issues would go on there, because like, technological antitrust issues are such a weird gray area that like nobody knows how to prosecute it. So it's kind of wide open right now. So
Epic has a lot of pride in their like IPs also right now, so I don't even know.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean Steam's so huge that they're like you said, Paul, every PC gamer has Steam.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah. Now as far as hardware is concerned, I don't we just had the new RTX cards and the new AMD cards come out last year, like at the end of last year. So I don't see any big hardware announcements for
No,
PC.
this is the height of like graphical and like speed
Mhm.
wise. The height of PC gaming is like now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there are any other surprise announcements or anything that you think might be popping up on PC?
So at the end of last year, we saw additional content for Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, that's right.
Which has been ages since we've seen anything for that.
Yeah, but the Left 4 Dead devs are coming out with a new game called Back 4 Blood, and that's coming. That's releasing this year. It's in pre-alpha right now, but I think it's coming out in just a few months. I was watching some gameplay of the pre-alpha, and it looks like pretty polished already. You know, and that game looks great. I wasn't a huge fan of the original Left 4 Dead personally.
Oh,
I just thought that
I played so much of that.
Right, and I know Colin was obsessed with it. I just didn't like the gunplay. I felt like the gunplay was.
I agree with that. I felt like it was like weird stick movement controls.
Yeah,
it was.
It was. Yeah, it was a little weird. It. But I was watching. Like I said, I was watching the pre-alpha gameplay, and it looks like that's been cleaned up a lot. And the game looks really cool, really fun, really intense.
The only thing
it makes me wonder if we'll see additional. I mean, we saw Half-Life Alyx. Was it last year or the year before?
I think last year.
Makes me wonder if we're going to see some more content in the Half-Life universe. Maybe even bringing in, because we know that Half-Life and Portal exist in the same world.
That's
true.
What
if Left 4 Dead exists in the same world too? What if all those Source games exist in the same world?
Oh wow, that'd be wild.
That'd be massive. Yeah.
So I think it would be foolish not to do that, but Valve tends to sit on their hands a lot.
Valve is afraid of threes.
Yeah, so like the Half-Life Alyx was a huge surprise to everyone that they were even making another Half-Life game. Everyone was fucking blown away. But now that that game came out, it got a lot of traction. It was like the only AAA VR game there is, right?
Yeah.
Do we see a sequel to that? Do we see them return to the original Half-Life series and do that?
As a person who doesn't do VR and can't do VR because it upsets my stomach and it gives me headaches and whatever, I would love to see Half-Life Alyx just come out.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah,
I'd love to play it. I want that story.
Yeah,
but I can't have it because it's all VR.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting.
I wonder if the whole purpose of it was to be VR though, and they're like kind of sticking to
that's what they were saying when I was talking to them at PAX.
Yeah, I mean, it was really for sure like a flagship VR game. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what Valve does. I just think that they're not as interested in producing games as they used to be.
Yeah, they really they know that their fan base is like pretty loyal to the things that already exist, and I feel like they're just like, whatever. Yeah. Like even with Left 4 Dead 2, it is such a big game still. Like I could see huge. I have friends that still play it years later, insane. But I'm wondering if even the Back 4 Blood is maybe not even gonna remove people from the old games. The whole point is the whole point.
Sorry, I'm making fun of 4Gs.
Oh, the whole point is to get
people video game.
Oh my god, that clip.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's they're probably very careful about it because they want their franchises to be so loved, and even moving people into Back 4 Blood might not even remove people from Left 4 Dead 2. I'm wondering if it's even I don't even know how worth it is. I can imagine some of my friends would be nah, I'll stick with the old stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, there was a time when my friends and the Another Letdown crew would do our brainstorming sessions for whatever comedy sketch we were working on while playing Left 4 Dead every single Sunday night. Damn. And that went on for 3 years.
Damn.
And that was long after the game came out.
It's a massive cult classic. Yeah.
Every now and again, we'll still get together and play for hours. The game is incredibly fun and still, there it is. Yeah, we wrote that one playing Left 4 Dead. 4Gs. 4Gs is mentioning
the LARPing video.
We wrote a video called Hardcore LARP, and I'm very, very proud of it. I directed it, and it was just
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Fun shoots we ever had. But yeah, we played so much Left 4 Dead. If we weren't playing Left 4 Dead while writing, we were swimming. All our comedy sketches were done that way, but. I don't think
swimming in a pool
in the river. We had a river down behind my house. Yeah. And sorry, I digress. But Left 4 Dead is such an important part of why I'm sitting here today. I'll just be honest.
I think we all kind of have games like that where it's like that was the game that we played with our friends all the time, whether we liked the game or not. You know, like it was less of a like we enjoy this game and more of like this is where we hang out when we can't be around each other. You know. So I think I think those are really important. I think I think that's probably the best thing that has happened with like games going online, right? I think the worst thing that happened was we started getting tons of microtransactions and they started doing fewer single player games and things like that, right? But there is a lot of good that came out of it, and I think that's one of them. Is like it just became like a great way to hang out with your friends. Like when I had moved out of Tennessee or out of Kansas City to Tennessee, and I was around none of my friends, and I was depressed as fuck. The only thing, like, Call of Duty, not really my style of game. I mean, back then it was, but like, that was how I connected with my friends back then. Like, we'd play every night, and it was really more of a hangout than like,
exactly
we care about.
Yeah, and that's it started with Diablo 2 for me, Left 4 Dead eventually, but it's like with the world in the situation it's in, that's what gaming needs is a good multiplayer, probably cooperative experience.
Yeah.
And I
co-op is king, man.
Predict that like if Steam wants to remain competitive in a world where we've gotten 2 brand new consoles, that's probably what they're going to have to bring back. And they've got Dead by Daylight for sure, and things like that. But I think they're going to we're going to see a double down. I think we're going to see something new, something different. Maybe it's
especially because people are getting sick of like battle royales and shit.
Right.
Right.
Mario. But let's not forget the integrated parsec feature on Steam now. They're really jumping on board with single player couch games becoming co-op in some way. So like even like Cuphead and all that shit is now like parsecable. They literally have teamed up with their own like kind of online co-op system. Maybe they'll
like I've tried it. It's not as
Parsec. It's not as good as Parsec. Yeah, I tried playing it with Chamali and like it was we were playing Streets of Rage, I think. And or maybe it was something else. I don't know, whatever. But we were playing it and it just like kept crashing, kept failing. And we eventually just switched over to no, you know what it was? I was playing Swords of Ditto with 4Gs. And we ended up switching to Parsec, which I'm surprised that because I was playing with 4Gs, we didn't start with Parsec.
I know, right? He's such an addict for Parsec.
Yeah, well, but it was right when they first added that feature, and like he was like, "Oh, they basically put Parsec into Steam. Let's just use that." And it played like ass. So.
Right. I mean, even playing something as simple as the digital version of the board game Spirit Island, you're better off just using Parsec.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there'd be some kind of, this is a stretch, but maybe some kind of thing where like you're able to only do these multiplayer like facets of the games through Steam using their new like coming this year like feature. That'd be a really cool way to kind of make Steam blow up even further. Be like, you can now play this game co-op if you have it on Steam and like whatever. I don't even know. Like,
well, I mean, the Switch is still so hard to get right now.
Yeah.
Even now. Animal Crossing came out almost a year ago, and that's when Switch started to really like you couldn't get it anywhere. It was almost like toilet paper. But but you wouldn't want to wipe your ass with it.
You only want to wipe your ass with an
Xbox. My niece tried to get one the other day, Anyway, we tried to get one for my niece the other day and couldn't find one still.
Yeah.
So it's
they're hard to find.
Your niece is watching. I'm getting a Switch.
She's not watching. She's not allowed.
Yeah, it became such a commodity, just like this feeling of like familial joining of gaming, and it's like Animal Crossing really boosted that back up, where people are like, oh yeah, I just like gaming with my friends. I actually forgot about that. Like something chill. That's like honestly the perfect example. Like you're playing Animal Crossing, you're just like hanging out with your friends, shooting the shit, like so chill and carefree that it feels like something needs to be injected back into the gaming community. Yeah. And
So
not in a
again,
way where
that's-
it's like killing each other, like something where you're team based, something like couch co-op, even one player games that are now co-op based on this like feature would just be incredible.
Yeah. And that's and once again, that's the way that Steam would, you know, make themselves competitive in a world where there's 2 brand new consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since we talked about Half-Life Alyx, do you guys have any big predictions for VR this year? Do you think?
So I have one, and it's kind of completely unfounded. The Oculus Quest 2 is blowing up because it's a console that people can get.
Yeah.
The problem is it's inexorably attached to Facebook.
Yeah.
That's really
You
weird.
can't have one if you don't have a Facebook account.
Correct.
fucking creepy. I don't
which
like that.
is doo-doo butts.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's also suspicious as hell. Like,
Yes,
ugh.
right?
I don't like that at all. Yeah.
Right.
It look, dude, I want one because there's some badass games on there, but like because of that reason, because of the Facebook, you know, connectivity.
And like I have a Facebook.
Yeah.
So does
Me
another
too,
account.
but I don't want that.
But I don't want to connect things to it.
I wouldn't want that at all. Yeah.
That's
and it's
just
like some
super
online
weird.
service that has access to all your shit. Like it's already online for everyone. Now you're using it to like sign up for this new thing. Like I don't even understand that. Like, it's like give us your personal information and you can use our fucking VR service. Like what the hell?
Yeah, that's bananas.
That's super
suspect.
weird. So
Very
I
weird.
see Oculus Quest 2 being detoroned this year.
Yeah.
So you think someone
That's
else
my
is
prediction.
going
I
to come
think
out
there's
with
gonna be
like a more affordable, you know, like that same kind of price range, $300 or whatever, that could be played
Sony.
with connectivity to a computer or independently of a computer.
Yeah.
And
It could be Sony. I'm not sure, but it feels like they're priming up to hit a home run this year, like with some kind of hardware, and the PS5 is already primed and ready.
yeah,
Like,
Well,
yeah.
what if they? What
that's
if they
the logical one
detached-
for me is the PS5 VR.
VR, yeah.
But
Same.
So
yeah, I
what
mean,
if
if they
Sony-
detached
what
it,
if,
yeah.
if it is Sony, what if Sony just detaches VR?
Do you think they have an interest in doing that?
Incredible.
No,
I don't know.
at the moment.
Well-
but if they see it and they're like, oh, we don't
Here's
have
the
to attach
thing.
it to Facebook.
I think the reason why
Attached us instead,
the
but
PSVR on PS4 was so successful is because it was connected directly to the console you're already playing. You already own games for it. You know, like it's not like you have to buy this other piece of hardware. It was also very affordable compared to other VR headsets at the time. So like to them, I think keeping that same strategy, keeping it affordable, keeping it connected to the console that everyone's playing already. I mean, everyone except for me.
Everyone.
Sony, don't let Paul let this go on. This is a great joke. Don't give Paul a PS5.
It's not
Sorry.
that funny.
It could honestly be like if you have a Sony network pass, like be like, you know, just like you have to have a Facebook. They could be like, as long as you're part of the whatever the hell it's called Sony network thing, maybe you can use it elsewhere if you are subscribed to Sony in some way. So like, there's a lot of smart options that I feel like a lot of companies are trying to hold close to the chest and like keep things to themselves instead of like spreading the wealth. Like Xbox is starting to spread the wealth a little, but like. I don't know. Sony, it feels like it's their time to either shine or like stay in the dark. And we could see some really surprising things, including like integrating with PC gaming. That'd be really incredible, actually.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Ghost on Steam, please.
Yeah.
I actually predict that Ghost and Final Fantasy remake and maybe like a double pack with the new one are going to come out on Steam. I'm like, I'd be shocked if we don't get Ghost on Steam this year. It sounds like ludicrous.
I just want Spider-Man to come to Steam.
Man,
I don't think any of
I
those
know it
games are
never
coming
will,
now.
but I
But
want
I
it
mean,
so
don't
bad.
never say never. But like, you know, because we did see Horizon Zero Dawn.
yeah,
That was kind of like groundbreaking for Sony.
just 3 years later.
Like, you know, like God of War, Ghost of Tsushima. You know, I don't think those games are coming to PC unless they like dramatically change their philosophy.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I do kind of agree. I agree with you in a way, but I also think that maybe it's just me being hopeful for their like intelligence as a company that they like should just branch out because they are the only company now that's like really holding it all close to the chest. Even Nintendo's like, I don't give a fuck. I'll partner with Microsoft. Like I don't even care right now. And that's very shocking because they used to
like I don't think we're ever going to see a Mario or Zelda on Steam
unless they go bankrupt. No, yeah,
yeah, exactly. But
I would cry.
Like,
I mean, the fact that we got Mario on the iPhone, you know,
That's
like,
actually, that's huge. That's sharing your IP with another whatever the hell OS system. But yeah, different to get like, oh, God of War is now on Microsoft or on Steam. That seems, you're right. Like when you say it like that, it seems very far fetched.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I don't know.
Saying.
Do you guys have any?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask if you guys had any final predictions before we wrap this up.
Silk Song coming out probably in 2 months. I think this is my big
2 months.
I think we're gonna get Hollow Knight 2 in the next 2 to 3 months. It's already been TBA'd. So Hollow Knight Silk Song. This is the only really thing I care about. I'm gonna put a mild prediction for Celeste 2, but I don't think it's been long enough. And of course, my heart wants the Cuphead physical copy with all the DLC to come out, but they literally inevitably extended that or whatever they're saying.
Speaking of physical copies, Zach, we wanted to talk about this. I almost forgot. Why don't you talk to us about?
Tell us.
Paul and I before the show were like scrambling around on our little news feeder websites to try and find some bit of news.
Yeah,
there just wasn't this week because there's so many other things to cover, and we did find one piece of news that we were very excited about. They announced that there is going to be a physical release of the Scott Pilgrim versus the World video game for Switch and PS4 and Xbox One. Eventually, Xbox One's not going to be available yet, but Paul and myself,
a limited run games that's putting out the physical copies. This is a really big deal because like Scott Pilgrim the game came out originally on the Xbox 360 and maybe a couple other platforms. But it got delisted and no one could get it, no one could play it anymore. So like if you still had it installed on your Xbox, you had it, but like that was it. You know, like there was no other way to get it. If you accidentally uninstalled, boom, it's gone, right?
It's gone forever.
So the fact that we can now get a physical copy of it is a big fucking deal.
And we're all getting it on Switch because we felt that's the most like authentically Scott Pilgrim
yes, I agree.
System to have. And as we're going to use this as a platform to announce that on February 13th, which is Valentine's Day weekend, which seemed very apropos for Scott Pilgrim, Paul and myself and Chamali and our friend Broody Gambit are going to stream as much of the Scott Pilgrim video game as we can in one sitting. We're going to start at 11:30 Eastern time. That's 10:30 Central. And we're just going to go as long as we can. And, we'll have snacks and sodas and whatever, and just see how far we get. It's going to be both here on the Ryogami-san channel as well as the Another Letdown channel. We're going to simul stream it. I think the layouts will be pretty much identical. I'm working on that. I have some cool, clever ideas to make it look both like a Samurai Saturday stream as well as one of my Zach Sucks at Games.
Nice.
So I think it's going to look pretty dope. We'll have definitely my face cam and Paul's, but I bet you the other two guys will probably just disembodied voices, and that'll be fine. But it's going to be really fun. So definitely check that out. We're very excited to bring that.
I bet you beat it in one sitting, honestly.
I haven't played in a really long time, and I never owned it myself, but I played it a few times with my brother, and it was pretty fucking hard.
Does it scale?
It's not easy.
Does it scale what players you have?
It's easier with more players, significantly easier.
Okay, yeah. So, and we only played it with 2, so I'm sure with 4 players or however many we got on there, it'll be easier.
But it'll be very funny. I'm sure there'll be lots of shouting, and as per usual, I will do and Broody and Chamali, because they're used to it, will definitely try to not cuss loudly, and we'll see how Paul fares with that.
Quiet cursing.
Oh, am I not supposed to cuss?
I mean, it's just a challenge.
Gonna be on your
we'll
channel.
probably say language, but who cares?
I'm gonna try and come up with some quirky fake swear words.
I have a whole book of quirky fake swear words.
Fantastic.
That I should probably send to you because it's hysterical.
Shut the front door, Zach.
Shut the front door is one of my favorites. Go to bed is another. I mean, we use go to bed to chastise someone for making a bad joke, but
what's go to bed supposed to be a substitute for?
Like it's not really anything. It's just, exactly. STFU. sort of.
Yeah, gotcha.
Sleep.
Cheese and rice. That was.
Oh, that's
cheese and rice is a good one.
Hungry.
You just ate. Okay.
You just ate a fat bowl of pho.
It's like a gallon.
But yeah, so tune in right here and on my channel, February 13th. It's gonna be a great time, and we'll definitely talk more about it as it gets closer.
That's awesome.
Cool.
That's really exciting. The physical, any physical copies, I am really excited about. I mean, online downloads are fun, but yeah, there's something about that physical cartridge that is just really special. Still, the Switch again, knocking things out of the park, just with like the ability to have everything on this one console, just feels really great. So I'm more power to them for everything being physical on the Switch or downloadable. I don't even care. Give everything.
Excellent. Well, you guys, this was really fun.
We did it.
Paul, you got to update that Wisebot post.
Which one?
You've still got Colin in it.
Oh, I do have Colin in it.
Just like manually posting mine.
I just noticed that when you said it. Yeah, we'll update that. Actually, I'm not the one who made that. Faye made that, so.
Oh, cool. Okay. I'll bug her then.
Well, yeah, she just like.
I gotta get her to set up mine.
Mine were like crap, and she came in and just like redid all of them. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Yeah. But yeah, very cool. You guys, thank you guys for coming tonight. This was a fun podcast. If you're watching the show right now live, you're on my channel where I stream video games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Saturdays. I play samurai games.
Which is why we're forcing to play knives on the Scott Pilgrim stream.
That's fair. Just a disclaimer. This week, I'm probably not going to be streaming on Wednesday because I'm going to be attending like a live lecture that my friend's doing about anime. It should be pretty cool. I might actually, you know what I might do? I'll have to get his permission, but I might live stream that.
Yeah, I don't see why we'd mind.
I'll ask him. Yeah, basically host it kind of. I mean, he's doing it through Zoom, so, but
yeah.
So, and then Saturday I'm going to be camping most likely, so no stream Saturday most likely. Unless something happens, just as a disclaimer. But yeah, that's where you can find my streams here on Ryugami-san. You can find me on Twitter at Ryugami-sama if you want to shout profanities at me or something. And then check out the
Up
YouTube.
Your nose with the rubber hose.
The YouTube link should be there in chat right now. If you missed some of the show or you want to go back and watch something, check it out there. If you're watching on YouTube and you enjoy the show, please share it. And yeah, that is all I got. Josh, where can we find you, homie?
Find me at Lord Yeshua and Lord Yeshua TTV on all my socials, and I am going to make a triumphant return to streaming, starting with every Zelda game ever made, except for the CDIs.
Gang.
Bring it. I'm excited to get back into it. Just don't. I'm not going to make any promises when, but I think by the end of January, I'm going to be full back into it. I'm hoping.
Fantastic.
Yeah, very excited.
And I'm Another Letdown on Twitch and DENONCZD on Twitter. I'll be live definitely for sure Thursday for Batman and Saturday for miniatures painting. No tabletop simulator this week. I'll probably be doing some other video games, maybe some Hades randomly, probably Wednesday. If Paul's not going to be live, I might be.
Hades finale.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Faye's been working on it for a while too. I don't think she's got there either.
Really?
It's a hard game, I hear.
It's a tough game, but it's a lot of fun. So I might just if I'm lonely after school, I might hit the go live button. Hang out with all of you fine people.
Well, guys, thank you once again. Have an awesome night. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.